What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be reviewing the Daron Realtoy Qantas Airlines 747 airport playset. So I got this model off of eBay a couple months ago, actually from the US. Usually the only place where you can find these models coming from off of eBay are usually shipping from Australia, but I was fortunate enough to find one for a really great price shipping from the United States. So the Qantas 747 is not necessarily a rare model, but it can be difficult to find as in a playset form. So this model was distributed as both a single plane and a normal airport playset from around, I don't exactly know when this particular model was produced, from the time span it was produced or distributed, but I believe it was probably from the late 2000s until around 2015, 2016, sometime around there. There were two different Qantas 747s that were produced. There was this one, and then there was the older livery, kind of had more of a classic design to it with the gold stripe on the tail and the smaller Qantas Airlines logo. So I believe that one was produced as both a single plane and a normal airport playset as well. That one, the most common version, was from the airport playset, and this one, the more common version, was from the single plane. So this model, like I just said before, it's not exactly, not necessarily too rare, but it can be difficult to find it as an airport playset, or just if you are a collector from the United States, then it definitely can be hard to find one off of eBay that is shipping from the United States for a good price. So this model is one of 9 different Qantas models that were produced, with the others being the original 747 that I mentioned earlier, with the gold stripe on the tail and the smaller Qantas Airlines logo. There is a 767 that is in that same livery that was produced for around the same period of time. As far as I know of, it was only distributed as a single plane, and I definitely would consider it the rarest Qantas Airlines model, because I don't really know, there's really no way to really get it. Apart from, most likely if you were to get it, it would be shipping from Australia, and it was definitely a very limited model produced for a very short period of time, only as a single plane in probably the late 90s. And then there were 3 versions of the A380 in all 3 of the liveries that Realtoy produced of the Qantas models, with the oldest livery with the gold stripe. Then there is this livery, which I guess you can kind of say is in the middle, and then there is the newest livery. The A380 is definitely the most common model. And then there was this livery of the 747, and then 2 787s, one with white wings and the older livery, and then the newer one with the newer livery and silver wings, and then the A330. So that is all of the 9 Qantas models that were produced. I did a bit of research on this model before I started this video. This model does have a real registration number, which is VH-OEB, which does read to a real Qantas 747. I did, when I was doing some research, I did find out that that aircraft has been scrapped. I saw pictures of it and definitely was in the middle of the scrapping process. So that pretty much is all of the information for this model. So now starting off with the review of the box. So the entire box is kind of in that color, the color differences between the white and then the red, to me kind of does represent the livery design on the Qantas Airlines models, with the red rear of the plane kind of going up along the tail, and then the rest of the white fuselage. Have the Qantas Spirit of Australia logo right there, with the kangaroo in the orange and the red triangle. And then airport playset, Daron logo, the newer Daron logo down at the bottom, with the die-cast metal, authentic details, and plastic parts. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, there is the stock image for the Qantas 747 airport playset. On the side, there is the Qantas Airlines logo again, with the same usual details for the playset, the die-cast metal, authentic details, and plastic parts. Same thing on the other side as well. And then on the back of the box, there is the really nice box art image for the Qantas 747 with the logo up at the top, Qantas Spirit of Australia. Same details again for airport playset, die-cast metal, authentic details, plastic parts. This one does have the entire playset displayed here. Like lots of the box art images usually only have the plane and then some vehicles. Sometimes the vehicles aren't even the ones that come in the playset, but this one does have everything included, with all of the exact signs, the playset vehicles, and then the 747. Then there is the new Daron logo down at the bottom with the Qantas official licensed product, and then the manufacturing date for this model, which was September 22nd of 2014. And then I did forget to mention up the top here, there also is the same Qantas Airlines logo and the details about the playset on the top of the playset as well. So pretty much is all for the details on the box. So like usual, I'll pause the video and take out the plane. So here is the Qantas Airlines 747 airport playset. Like usual, I didn't take out the signs because they are the same exact ones that come in all the other playsets. So starting off here with the review of the plane. So up at the front, there are the 747 cockpit windows with the cabin windows that start right below that. There is the name, I think this is the name for the specific aircraft, which is, what does that say? Long reach with the Phillip Island above that. I don't exactly know what that is. I never really researched that, but if any of you know what exactly those mean or stand for or whatever, let me know in the comments. There's the Qantas logo and Spirit of Australia displayed behind that. I definitely noticed a difference between what is on the plane and the box. The box has the Qantas logo as being more of a lighter gray, and this one on here is more of either a dark gray or a black. On the box, it kind of more is the same coloring of what the Spirit of Australia is, and then on the box, the Spirit of Australia is definitely a very lighter gray. So I don't know if that was like the meant to do that or if it's just some off with the box or whatever, but definitely really interesting. And then on the engines, there is the Qantas logo in the right hand corner right there with the red triangle with the kangaroo inside of it. Definitely kind of does represent what the tail is, I guess is what it's supposed to be. And then there are the red winglets, the red paint on the winglets. Definitely ties the whole plane together with the color on the winglets. Same thing on the other side as well with the Phillip Island and then the long reach. Spirit of Australia and the Qantas logo with the red on the engines and on the winglets. And then on the back of the plane, there is the real registration number, which again is VH-OEB with the Australian flag right there. And then there is the red part of the rear of the plane that goes along from the top of the tail down along through the bottom of the undercarriage. The rest of the undercarriage is just in the white coloring for the fuselage. And then there is the really iconic white kangaroo on the tail with the letters displayed EB on the top for the last 2 digits of the registration number. And then on the back there kind of is a white spot here, kind of where the red part kind of goes away from the rest of the plane. And then on the undercarriage, there on the main landing gear, there is the Realtoy logo with the model stand with a hole for the model stand. And then there is the manufacturing date, which again is September 22nd, 2014. Overall, relatively simple Realtoy model design. Definitely I would say the A380 is probably the most well-known Qantas model, but the 747 was definitely another one that was really well-known. You can, as far as I know of, you can still get this model off of eBay, as like I said before in the beginning of the video, the single plane is the most common version to get. Playset is a little bit more difficult. As far as I know of, this was the only version of the playset that was produced. I don't think there were any other versions. But I did get this I did get this model used off of eBay. I forgot to say that in the beginning of the video. But yeah, I got this playset used off of eBay. It did come with all of the signs, vehicles, and everything. Everything was included, but I did get it used off of eBay. I don't remember the price, but I know it was pretty cheap. I think it was probably $15 I got this playset, which is definitely a very good price for this playset and for this model. So, well, that's pretty much all the review for the model. So moving on to the first vehicle here, this is the pushback tug. Overall is a relatively standard design on the pushback tug. I mean, it's pretty much just all in the white coloring, and then you have the Qantas logo that is displayed right there. Overall, relatively simple there. This one, I was fortunate enough it did come with the hook for it, because usually whenever you get these playsets used, I'd probably say it's a 50-50 chance if you're going to get the tug, the hook included or not. So I'm definitely glad that it was able to include it, so I didn't have to use one from a different playset. But yeah, overall, relatively simple design on the tug with just all in the white coloring, and then the Qantas Airlines logo at the front of it as well. Moving on to the stair truck. This one is definitely probably another unique one for this playset, because usually they only have, if it's going to have red on it, usually it would just have a sticker down there, but this one definitely is in the full paint, and unlike most of the other paint jobs that are usually on the stair trucks or really any of the other vehicles, usually they are kind of do have the plastic on it. You can tell it does have more of the matte finish, I guess is what you can say. But this one has the gloss coating on it, kind of the same exact paint that is on the tail of the plane. So I just thought that was kind of cool. You have the Qantas Airlines logo there with the Qantas, the triangle up there, Qantas along there. Along the side of it as well, where the stairs are. Definitely a really great design and nice details for the stair truck. So moving on to the definitely the best, my most favorite vehicle that comes in this playset, the most unique one as well. This is the Qantas Freighter. I don't even know what kind of truck this is. I wouldn't say if it's a semi-truck, but the freight truck. This is a vehicle that usually only comes in the large airport playsets. So definitely the fact that it comes in a normal airport playset is definitely very interesting. I believe this is probably one of the only playsets, small airport playsets, normal size, that this one came in. Has a Qantas logo on the door, and then throughout the sticker on the main part of the vehicle. Has a Qantas logo, Qantas Freight, QantasFreight.com with the red stripe beneath that, and then a little number here in the corner, 75. And yeah, so definitely, probably, I would say this is the playset that has most well-known for having this vehicle in. If there is any others, I know I can't name them off the top of my head, so that just goes to show that this one is probably the most well-known playset that the vehicle comes in. So, well, that pretty much is all for the Qantas 747 airport playset. Relatively is a simple airport playset design, but was discontinued. I think it's almost been, this model is now turning 10 years old this year. This model is turning 10 years old, but I think the playset was discontinued 8 years ago now, 2016. Yeah, that was 8 years ago. So, yeah, this playset model definitely will become more rare over time, since this, just like every other discontinued Realtoy model, over time the model will definitely become a lot more rare. As far as right now, it isn't extremely rare. You can still buy the single plane version. Playset is more rare, but definitely is probably average rarity for a Realtoy model. But yeah, so that pretty much is all for today's video. So thank you all so much for watching, and let me know down in the comments if you guys have this model in your collection or playset, or any of your thoughts. And remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.